Alright, it's been almost a week since I put up a video. This video is going to be titled, Being Nice is Considered a Weakness. But before we get to that, I just want to say that I'm quitting my shitty day job again, which is not smart. It was only 25 hours. It was only 5 hours a day for 5 days. It was a good schedule, 7 to 12. But because I can't go to bed at night, because I'm a comedic genius with all these thoughts in my head and such, and I'm an insomniac, it was just draining the hell out of me, which is why I've noticed the last 2 months I haven't been putting up that many videos. Every once in a while I'll put up 2 or 3. So starting next week, I can't promise I'm going to put up videos every day, but at least every other day. I can't promise, once again, but there will be more videos in 2019 until I start working another crappy day job again, which will happen. But as of right now, tomorrow's my last day. I put my notice in. Also, you can tell my hair is growing a little wild. Okay, cool. Who cares? Let's get to the topic. Being nice is considered a weakness. This new millennial, Western generation of women, even they will tell you, hey, I actually typed in Google last night, don't be nice to women. Okay, I put that in just to see what will come up. And there are a few honest girls out there, even though they are manipulative cunts, that will at least be honest and say, yeah, girls, we don't like nice guys. We'll use you. So if you type in "don't be nice to women," but girls will say, yeah, if you be nice to us, we'll hang out with you. We'll be your friend, but we're not gonna fuck you, pretty much. Which, you know, I do at least respect that a little bit. One girl wrote, "This is why I don't want you. Has nothing to do with being alpha. Your arrogance and entitlement to my sexuality and privacy. You don't like me because I'm nice," somebody said. So once again, understand what that has to do with being nice. But one of the worst advice I ever got, like I said, when I was younger, was a girl told me, I told you she worked at CVS. She said, just be nice. That's all girls want. Just be nice. And then she had a black eye. Her boyfriend was beating her, but because he drove her to work and he had a shitty apartment, she pretty much tolerated his bullshit. Yeah, he seemed like a real nice guy. He would pop her right in the mouth. Yeah, so nice. So, also the whole asshole thing. A girl be friends with a beta male, say, you're such a great guy, you're so nice, cute, and funny, and then suck the dick of the fucking alpha male who treats her like shit, plays with her head, teases her. One guy wrote, why don't girls like me when I'm nice to them? Somebody says, do you put her on the pedestal? Are you too eager to please her? You know, and all this stuff. And, you know, the pickup artist thing, they try to teach you, like, to be a clown, pretty much. But that doesn't create attraction. You know, as I said before, nobody knows the real reason to create attraction. But just like when I go out to bars, like I said, I don't take their picture. You know, I don't take their picture. I don't do shit for them. And they'll get mad at me and say, asshole. And I realize when a girl calls you an asshole, that you have more of a chance to sleep with her, even if you don't, than you do if she says you're a nice guy. It's almost like when they say you're a nice guy, it's almost like they say it like you're a sucker. Like, aw, you're a sucker. I can't wait to use the shit out of you. It's a bad thing. Usually when people say that in general, like, you know, a job might, you know, the job interviews I didn't get, the boss told me, you know, you seem like a nice guy, but I didn't get the job. So it's like, who gives a fuck if I don't seem like a nice guy? I didn't get this bookkeeper job for 15 something an hour, which probably could have got me out of this fucking shithole in my parents' basement. But anyways, so yeah, the whole nice thing, when a woman says that to you, it's bad. You never want to be the nice guy. If a woman says to you, you seem like a sweet guy, you seem like a nice guy, I would just punch her in the titty right there. Just give her a little jab in the titty, because you don't want her to ever think that. Let's see, what articles say? Nice women don't say yes, and real men don't say no. Men don't love women like you. Women just don't go for scientific reasons. Once again, I don't need these articles. I got my own perspective. But they claim they want a nice guy, but what their actions say differently. Even a girl at a bar years ago, I remember she told me, she called me an asshole. And I said, I guarantee you date nothing but assholes. And she was like, you know what? She's like, I do. She was like, I really do like assholes. But she didn't date me, of course. But she wasn't attracted to me. But yeah, man, it's you know, being nice to them, trying to be their friend, you know, you can't. You have to treat them like a whore. You know, they say treat a lady like a whore and a whore like a lady. It's so true. You have to just treat them like a piece of meat. You got to fuck with them. You got to tease them. I'm not saying that, you know, that's going to work 100%. They have to be attracted to you, number one. But we all know that being nice to them is a sucker's game. The girl that I used to be friends with, that I told you guys about, that I moved in with, she tried to manipulate me. She had other guy friends, and at first I was so lonely. That's why I was her friend in the first place in my mid-20s. that she would show up an hour late, and I would wait there like a beta male pussy. Then finally, I started standing up to her and said, "Look, if you show up late like that one more time, I'm going to leave." And one night, I left her, and she said, "That's it. I'm not your friend anymore." And I did apologize to her. We ended up being friends, but pretty much, there was times where I would leave her place, and she would say, "Can you take this trash out for me?" And I go, "I'm not taking out the trash. That's your boyfriend to take out the trash." And she'd go, "You're an asshole. Go ahead, get out." And there's other times where she would say, "Hey, I need you to help me move some stuff." I'm like, "Move some stuff?" Yeah, I moved some stuff. I pick you up 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, "What?" So thank God I said no to that, especially the fact that she turned out to be the way she was, which is why I ended the friendship. And then moving back here, my parents' basement, she was just one of the biggest, most manipulative cunts. And yes, I was her friend for years, and she did nice things for me. She got me a job. She hung out with me. There was times when I didn't have money. She bought me things. She wasn't a terrible person, but she was one hell of a manipulative cunt. So even if a girl's nice to you, she buys you things, she texts you. Once again, I could have hooked up with her a few times, but she was already hooking up with other guys, and I didn't want that sloppy seconds and thirds. And plus, I was like, she'll fuck anybody at this point, and she's just going to use me. I ended up liking her, and at one point, I did end up liking her, and I stayed away from her for 4 or 5 months to break the spell. So you got to be careful with that shit. And it's a weakness. And you know what I realized about people in general? When I used to be nice to my friends, my so-called friends, people would say, "I love you, you're a great guy." For some reason, they didn't want to be my friend. Like when I would text people and try to be close to them, I noticed they push me away. But then when not to say be mean to people, when I just do my own thing, I don't text people, I leave them alone, certain people will say to me, "Hey, you want to hang out?" Or they'll start texting me, "Hey, how you been?" I realize it's best to just leave people alone and do your own thing and go your own way. And especially with girls, it's best to just leave them alone, go your own way. But when you're nice to them, you try to text them and go, "Hey," you try to cheer them up, you try to make them laugh, you try to show them you're a nice guy or funny guy, like text game. Text game, I read a whole book on texting, and the guy was like, you got to create these things called bridges, where you send them a text message every couple of days so they think about you, and ping and all this other terms. And it's like, if they want to hang out with you, you don't have to do anything. All you do is maybe call them or text them. And if the girl's really attracted to you, sure make time for you. If she doesn't, either she's playing a game, she's doing that to other guys, or she's just a cunt, or she doesn't want to meet anybody. But either way, so I realize in general, you have to be assertive in general to people, your friends. If your friends are good to you, you can be good to them. But if you're like me, if you've lost a lot of friends, you have to just start being assertive and realize, look, I'm just going to have to do my own thing, focus on what I want to do. And if I make friends, great. If I don't, the good news is I've mastered the lifestyle of being TFL, because I've always been lonely. I used to care in my 20s. Now that I'm older, it's like, it's so weird. It's like I'm numb to it. I just don't care anymore. And with these girls, like I said, especially the girls you meet in bars, treat them like a fucking dirty slut. Because that's what they are. And I don't even try to get laid, but every once in a while, girl, can you take my picture once again? I say, no, you're an asshole, you're this and that. They want to fucking, or that girl that pushed me, remember? I gave her a push back. She wanted to fight me and everything. She called me a fat faggot and all these things. She wanted to act, typical fucking whore. She's mad because I stood up to her. So even though she was drunk, I guarantee the back of her mind, she was like, hey, this guy stood up to me. They like that. And if they don't like that, it's like, I'm not going to let these hoes not in my world once again disrespect me, push me out the way. That fucking hoe in the cheesesteak shop to try to fucking say, oh, oh, he's taking his shit. I called her a fucking slut. Not in my world, because I may be a loser, which I consider myself, but I ain't no fucking weak loser. I mean, I ain't gonna let these hoes, oh, I'll take your picture, oh, I'll be nice to you, oh, I'll do this for you. For what? You ain't gonna fuck me, get the fuck out of my face. And I don't even want pussy from you hoes no more. If I want it, then I'll pay for it. And one last thing before I wrap this rant up, if you want to call it that, is, when you go to fucking, you go out and stuff like that, and you go to bars and everything, notice that a girl asked me to take your picture. I say no. She'll ask some other guy, and the guys are so happy. They're like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'll take your picture. Yeah. And then the girl will go, okay, thank you, and walk away from the guy. And I'll look at the guy like, you should imagine how great would that be if every guy in the bar said no to her. Every guy in the bar just pretty much fucking said no to this bitch, and she stood there in her little slut outfit and slut makeup, slut powder, like, what the fuck? Well, who's gonna take my picture? Ask the bartender, ask the bouncer, ask the barmaid. It's their job. So yes, in general with people, being nice is a weakness. You have to be assertive. But to these girls, You know, they consider you weak, and they don't care if you kill yourself. They don't care if you're lonely. They don't care if you don't find a girl. They act like, oh, you're such a great guy, I'll find somebody for you. They are evil motherfuckers, and they don't give a fuck, all right? So thanks for watching. More videos on the way, especially after, once again, one more day of work, and I'll be unemployed, but hey, I got money saved up. I'll be all right. You guys will support me, right? No, I'm kidding. I got money. But yeah, man, I'm going to start putting up more videos. So I can't promise every day, but definitely more. I'm just slacking, but it's the holidays anyways, so we'll use that as an excuse. And like, subscribe, comment, all that jazz. And I'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. Get jacked.